Good morning once again. So, by the way, I am Christian Zambo and the came from Btvted too. So, we are the last reporters, and which is the chapter 11, the gender discrimination and equality. So, my part of this report is all about the misogyny. So, misogyny is the deeply entrenched structures of power of privilege encompasses an intense aversion towards women. So it means that, or state that misogyny is a strong prejudice against women. So it is a deeply embedded in the system in which and evolve as institution that govern into our society. So this system is an institution that provide advantages into a certain group of people working in a community. So it is often expense of women. So misogyny includes strong feelings of dislikes or hatred towards women. So and it is also suggested that misogyny is not just an individual but individual attitude or behavior, but also it is a deeply ingrained and systemic issue that is perpetuated by the very structures of our society. That is misogyny deeply entrenched as structures of powers and privilege encompasses, and it emerged from a history marked by systemic subjugation, sustained acts of oppression, and pervasive. So it is to suggest that current state of misogyny or sexism is not just a result of individual attitude or behavior, but rather a product of a long or complex history of systemic oppressions of violence against women. So it suggests that it implies or indicates in every individual of against women. So current state that of misogyny or sexism is refers to the present day of manifestation of hatred, prejudice, or discrimination against women. So not just a result of individual attitude or behavior. It means that the current state of misogyny or sexism cannot be attributed or solely or personal opinions, feelings, actions of individuals, but a record of a product. It is indicates the current state of misogyny or sexism is primarily consequences of a long-term complex of history. So it is refers to a prolonged and indicate a past systemic oppression. So it means that institutionalized or structural oppression were social, economic, and political system that perpetuate the subjugation of the women. So violence against women. So example, it encompasses physical, emotional, sexual, or physiological harm inflicted on women. So in addition, misogyny or sexism is not just about individual or prejudices of behaviors. It is a result of a long and complex history of systemic oppression and violence against women. And also, this history has created a deeply ingrained and institutionalized culture of misogyny and or sexism that perpetuates the subjugation of women. This perspective, in my own perspective, it is emphasized of needs to address the root of causes of misogyny or sexism rather than just focusing on individual attitude or behaviors. Misogyny is manifest in various forms of ranging from latent male supremacies to more subtle biases ingrained across culture. So this pervasive phenomenon serves as to uphold unequal power dynamics, normalize gender based violence, and cultural curtail of women's autonomy. So, about the paramount significance, it is interrelation between misogyny in societies that uphold male dominance and reinforcing rigid gender norms and exacerbating gender equality. So it means the undercurrent of evaluating femininity within theological, legal, political, and societal frameworks, and also underscores the deep-rooted existence of sexism, perpetuating a cycle of gender inequality and ongoing suffering endured by women across successive generations. So it means that the current of devaluing femininity is the subtle or underlying attitude that undervalues and disrespect infinity qualities of characteristics or rules of associated with women. So within a theological, legal, political, and societal frameworks. So as of now, across successive generation, so the effect of successive or the sexism and gender equality are passed down through a generation. So by perpetuating a cycle of suffering and inequality. So lastly is it is accused of the misogyny and that the devaluation of femininity is a subtle underlying attitude that permeates values frameworks. You know? And number two is we have the devaluation perpetuates sexism, that gender equality and the suffering of women. And the last one is we have the sexism is deeply entrenched and perpetuates a cycle of inequality that affects women across generations. So that would be all. So thank you for watching and God bless.